Hey, everybody, welcome to the Ruin Podcast. We are live from Mandalay Bay. 2024, Noah. That's what year it is.
Yeah, I've been here.
You're here? We out here.
We out here.
We out here. So, I got in last night. You boys have been here for a few days, yeah?
Yeah, it's been a long stretch so far, but we survived.
And we're only on the uphill. Like, we haven't even hit the downhill slope yet, bro.
Yeah, I worry about that because things could get ugly. This town's famous for it.
When we go out, like last night, you're like, oh, it's going to be a chill night. I'm not redoing Saturday, whatever, because you got pretty wild Saturday. And last night, you're calling me at like 1 in the morning. What is it?
Well, dude, you didn't say anything.
As soon as all of you people left, Brooks went into a tirade about how much he dominates everybody. And there wasn't even about anything specific. It was just like, I'm the best there ever was, the best there ever is.
Dude, they're giving out free old fascists.
With that place?
Yeah.
Oh, and you missed it too. We were at a party. We won't mention the party's name to keep this next comment out of it, but there was an altercation that went down.
Oh, yeah.
Dude got struck in the face. Yeah. And like, they got sprayed.
In the actual party deal?
Yeah. They had to bring security in, and then they
What started it?
I don't know.
We just saw the strike.
Yeah.
There's a couple shoves and then a blow to the face.
They were like the ISRI members?
One of them for sure
like
was
they
a
were.
scrap guy. I didn't see the other dude very well.
but this dude got stuck. And then the guy that put it on him just walked away like another day.
Oh, they got him.
Did they get him?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see that.
And then the dude pressed charges on him.
Really?
Yeah. Thought that was kind of weak.
If I get punched in the face and I deserve it, not press charges.
Maybe the guy didn't think he deserved it.
If you get punched in the face at 1 in the morning, I don't think anybody's at fault.
Right.
Well,
It was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard not to have some kind of shenanigans like that when you're giving away unlimited free whiskey.
Free old fashions to Brooks. I'm
And they were
surprised
delicious.
Brooks wasn't in the mix.
I was walking up on it like I wanted to be. That's kind of how you walk. I mean, I was stomping around up there like Mike
Dude,
Tyson.
I wish you could have heard him after you guys left. He's like, this person, I dominated them, put them to bed, put dirt on their grave. This person, I did this to. So I was just like, hey, man, it's good to see you. I'm glad we got together here. Yeah. So then Brooks had to go home. He got tired and had to go to
No,
sleep.
I didn't. You guys decided you were going to call.
How you
it,
guys?
so
How you guys? Your
we
wife,
went in a car and we rolled out.
your wife said, Brooks, it's time to go to bed. And you were like, yes, honey, I'll do that.
Let's talk about our hotel we're at. Listen, entire rent home, first off. And Brooks has a theory that everybody that works there or lives there is a robot.
So thankfully, we're moving to the Circa for tonight and for the remainder of the show. But this place is like
It's creepy.
It's like a Stephen King short story. It's like everybody at this place is like on a program.
Yeah.
They're sweeping things that aren't there.
And they
Did
just
you
start-
see a dude break his hip?
Yeah. He was an older guy. I don't think he was a robot. Well, he might have been. He didn't hurt himself, but
Dude, AI is real, bud.
And these might all be
They're coming for you.
these might be all like AI. They're like non-player characters in a video game.
Well,
They're
before
all just
any
kinda milling
blame
around.
gets placed, I didn't book your hotel there. That was Susan.
The facility's awesome. It's a nice place. It's just I think it's filled with robots.
All right, well, we're back to one now. We're going to be in the same hotel tonight,
Yes.
down on Fremont, or as I call it, Real Vegas.
Yeah.
like, well, we should drive there.
Dude, me and Brooks, I don't know if we've told this story on the podcast before, but we walked out of Circa one time. I know you've heard it, but they were playing Good Times,
Bad Times.
And like as we came out of the doors of Circa, this thing started.
And it's loud music down there.
Yeah,
It was like a scene
awesome.
out of a movie.
It really was.
awesome. Everybody like thought we were heroes. Like we just got back from the war or something like that. Like
At least we thought we were heroes.
Drunk stumbling out, and you thought people were clapping for you.
they were.
They were not.
They were applauding. I don't know which direction it was in, but they were definitely
was for
applauding.
us.
It was for us. You're right. And by that time, we were heroes, I think.
I think it's safe to say that.
You know what's crazy? When you're on Fremont Street, you don't know what time it is or where you are.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
You don't need to.
Right.
No. Yeah.
All the time. So, but anyways, we love partying in Vegas as we're talking about, but looks like a pretty decent turnout here for ISRI.
Yeah. The trade show's starting to pop off. There's a lot of folks coming in. Free bagels.
Yeah.
They're good ass bagels.
So far,
Good ass bagels.
Brooks
and I
has
need
been on
breakfast.
free old fashions and free bagels.
Well, dude, everything else costs. I mean, every time you get your wallet out for something, it's $100. So if I can get a free bagel and a free old fashioned, I feel like I'm ahead of the game.
And I know, like I said, you guys beat me here by a few days. I was down in Mexico, but was told that Noah owes Brooks $83. Is
he doesn't
a
owe me $83. Is
that a true statement?
I bought a round of drinks, and Noah's round of drinks is still coming. So I'm just waiting for that round.
See, my round's coming when we hit Fremont and we go to one of those
ABC stores?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna get an old Milwaukee tall boy for $1.75.
we need to do is drink 4 Locos tonight.
No,
You are.
It tastes like Aquanet.
Hey, I wish I would have had this at your age, but you're very conservative with your money.
Yeah. I guess.
You won't put internet at your house.
No. Everybody knows that already.
Yeah, it's, Noah's a well-known fucking tight ass with money, and I'm gonna get mine out of him.
Brooks, he owes Brooks the equivalent of $83.
He doesn't owe me 83. He owes me a round of drinks,
Around any time.
and I'm gonna find the most expensive.
You are definitely getting an old Milwaukee. Like that is happening.
No, I'm getting a Crown and Diet.
Oh, okay.
Oh, see, what sucks is I can't find Coke Zero here, so I got to drink Diet Coke.
Yeah.
It's not the same. Coke Zero is the shit.
Yeah.
Really.
Somebody ran into me last night and they were like, I normally don't drink, but I had this Crown drink. You ever heard of it? And I said, yeah, I've heard of it.
Was it Drake from ReMA?
It was not Drake from ReMA.
It did the same thing to me.
So they were like, but there was like Crown, and I don't remember what they put in it, but it was good. And I go, was it Coke? No. Was it lemonade? No. I was like,
Right.
It probably was Cried Alpha Sprite. So
Any beginner drinker that says, oh, I drink whiskey, drinks Crown Apple Sprite.
that was you for a while. Yeah. You're big on the Crowns.
I love Crown, but I'm just not on the sweet Crowns anymore. Unless I'm drinking.
So you're no longer a beginner.
You've graduated.
Yeah.
You say you're a veteran.
Blackberry on the way to St. Louis.
Yeah. Oh, that's another. So you're into me for a bottle of blackberry and fucking a round of drink. I forgot about that. You should have kept your mouth shut. Yuck. Thanks, Noah. Yeah.
This turns south real quick.
Yeah,
So
it usually does.
we're never heading north, but hey, ladies, what's going on? So we've got some gals from ReMA stopping by to wave at Noah. So
We got a great slate of guests for you guys.
We do.
So stay tuned. We're gonna start interviews here in the next hour or so. We've got first up will be Brett from a Scrap Life podcast.
Nick's coming too. I don't know if you
Nick's
know
also
this.
here?
Yeah. So they're gonna come on and we're gonna do the thing, Tia, huh?
That's about it.
All right.
Tia's been stressed.
Dude, you guys are all mad at me right now, and it's okay. We'll get over it.
Shout out to Davis Index, sponsor of the podcast. You can find their information on the
Ticker on the
the
bottom.
ticker below.
So Sean's coming on too.
Sean will be here.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay
Dude,
tuned,
he's
guys.
awesome. He was just like, hey, man, whenever, just text me. I'll show up.
Yeah.
Like, just whatever. I was like, no, all right. So, but we got a great slate of guests coming up, and hope you guys enjoy what we're going to put out here. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Ruin. We've got a very special guest with us, Mr. Brett Eckhart. Brett Eckhart. Let me get it out right. I've been drinking this morning already, so I'm already 2 sheets to the wind. So, thanks for joining us, Brett.
Thanks for the invite, man.
Yeah.
I love your guys' setup. You just in the podcast booth, 20-foot Katera, it's straight fucking scrap.
It is, yeah. That's,
Taking a moment.
make sure you don't say good job, Brooks, because
Tell John.
Brooks feels a little violated.
Who do I say is good job, Jeff?
Jeff is good.
That's a good job, Jeff.
Yeah. That's the life.
We're gonna take the credit.
He
Jeff.
kind of just fucking parachutes in at the end of the deal, collects all the fucking loot.
Our last segment, we were talking about coming out of Circa one time, me and Brooks were, and Good Times, Bad Times by Led Zeppelin came out. And no, guys, you guys think you guys are superheroes. It was like a scene out of a movie of us coming out to it.
You guys stumbled out to all it.
Right. And
Well, it was a lot cooler in our minds than anybody else around us, but it was right at the perfect time of the song. It was like we entered this motherfucker.
What was the movie when they walk out of the strip club and it's like daylight and it just
Yeah.
Everything hits
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Like the timing could not have been any better than what that was, and it was great. So hopefully we're staying there again. So hopefully some more memories like
I think it'll be fun.
yeah.
Brett, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background?
You know, I'm kind of probably like a lot of people here at this show. I'm third generation, born and raised in the scrap business, man. My grandfather started our business in 72, and my dad bought him out in 97, and I bought my dad out in 2016. So I'm living the dream, man.
Yeah.
I'm doing what my grandfather did, what my dad did. I'm super stoked. Like, my dad's coming down. My dad probably hasn't been to an ISRI deal in fucking 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So I got him to do a podcast with me on stage.
Oh,
Darcy. Yeah, so he's gonna see a lot of guys here that he hasn't seen. But yeah, that's kind of my background. This is what I know. This is what I really love to do, and this is like the Super Bowl of scrap, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what it is.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
you've
it's-
been
go ahead.
fantastic with social media branding, and tell us a little
TikTok
bit about
superstar.
Yeah.
Pretty much of the scrap industry.
Tell us a little bit about that and how you sort of decided to embark on that kind of stuff.
You know, I'm a business guy, right? Like, that happens to be okay at marketing.
Yeah.
But I realized, like, that if I want to grow my business, I need to figure out how to get people to know I existed.
Yeah.
And if people don't know you exist, it's hard to grow your business. And so I wanted to find, at the time, my real journey was trying to find people to sell my material to. So I could kind of get better pricing. And so I started posting, you know, shit that I was selling, like on LinkedIn. That this is what I'm selling, this is what I'm doing. And then I started being like, okay, well, now I'm getting better prices. People are, you know, giving me, you know, good service. I was like, well, the best way I can say thank you is to call out the people that were buying my material and say, hey, man, I sold XYZ stainless to XYZ company, and they paid their fucking bill. They took care of me, right?
Yeah.
The service was good. And I just kind of snowballed from there, and just kind of wanted to say, hey, we're over here in Idaho. We're busting our asses to build a business. We have these facilities, this capacity, and my really good friend, coworker Nick Snyder, he's kind of the guy behind the scenes. That him and I just started like old school, like Facebook posting, just trying to grind it out, trying to feel our way through it. And that's
Sure.
I just wanted to grow the business. At any means possible, I was going to do it.
Yeah, I often tell people, like, and it's not a knock on the industry itself, but our industry has traditionally sucked at marketing. Like, it's not like people think, I've told this story on the podcast, where they think junkyard dog, they think, you know, guys who are missing teeth. And I tell them, you know, I've sat in the scariest of boardrooms before, and also deal with the bluest of blue collar, you know, and so the industry's fun with that. I think people have a misconception about scrap for sure outside of this industry.
I'm an opportunist.
Right. Yeah.
People say, like, I look for opportunity. It felt like nobody was pushing. You know, Sacco is the one that kind of got me to do my first scrap podcast. Long story short, I had bought a company out in Indiana that was a pipe reline company, and I didn't know a lot about pipe reline. We have a couple separate pipe divisions, and I needed to learn more about it. So I started this podcast called Reline Unknown, which means, like, I don't know shit,
Don't know.
but I'm trying to learn, and so I could find anybody that was smart that knew about the reline industry, help me learn. That was really my first podcast, but it wasn't my main business, right? And it wasn't something I was uber passionate about. Most of my energy was still going to scrap on a daily basis. Sure. And then Sacco was like, dude, you have a great story. You know, you've been part of a publicly traded company. You retired your father. Like, you've grown your business. And he's like, you need to tell that story. And I was like uncomfortable a little bit, because when I was hosting the Reline podcast, I could just ask people about Reline. I never had to talk about myself.
Sure.
I could be like, hey, tell me what you know about this, and tell me what you know about that. And I never had to be like, so this is what I did. This is what I did. Well, it felt like I was kind of trying to put myself on.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that was the uncomfortable part. It wasn't talking in front of the camera. It was talking about yourself in front of the camera. And you have to get over that hump, you know? And that's a hard one for a lot of people to do.
Yeah, I also think this industry, too, has a lot of trial and error in it. So a lot of those stories of, you know, maybe not succeeding at the first time you go at something are entertaining more than anything else. You know,
that's a big part of success, right? Is you have to be willing to jump in and fuck up, and you fuck up a bunch of times before you're not fucking up anymore.
Right? Yeah.
But when you tell your story, be authentic about what it is. Like, be authentic, be honest. Like, we wreck a truck. I posted on fucking LinkedIn. Like, we wrecked a truck. It sucks. Like, we should have not all.
We should have had your driver that
roses and chocolates around here.
That's true. Right. And that's the thing about social media where people just kind of put a mask on and everything's perfect, right?
Right.
But if you show what real life is, that's going to get people engaged with you.
Yeah. And no one once had a guy run over a utility box that was straight in front of him. We should have put that on. We should have posted that.
No, it's a great idea, and I didn't really ever think about it that way. But yeah, you know, show the real shit.
I just show both. Like, the stuff you're proud of. Like, there's a lot of things I'm proud of. There's a lot of things that I think that I'm really excited about that we're doing. Like, that we're trying to innovate certain things. Like, or we just found something that was really good at it. We're trying to copy them in our own way and like our own spin to it, but which is just fine too. But show both. Like, be authentic and like how you go about it. Because when somebody meets me, I want to be like, yeah, that's exactly the way it is. Like, not like you're very different. Like, you're very different than what I expected.
Right?
You know?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I couldn't do it.
Well, from an outside, but I think you have some of that charisma just based on what you've been doing with the social media stuff, you know, because nobody was, you and Sacco, no one was really doing it in our industry. And we talked about it for years of like, we should have a podcast. We should be more on TikTok. And then we had to bring Tia in to get us over the
Shout out to Tia.
Yeah.
Back behind the scenes.
We were supposed to have a camera on you. We didn't figure that out yet. So someday, not today. So. But no, and we get more recognition almost on the stuff Tia's doing for us now.
It's about building awareness around your company, right?
Sure.
Like, your ability to be authentic about what your business, yourself, and tell your story, but also like people need to know you exist. And the only way that you know you exist is to do shit like this.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you got to be visible. You got to make yourself visible somehow.
It's so hitting home for me right now because we all like. I tell my buddies, you know, my personal buddies, I'm like, you probably don't believe the shit I tell you that goes on in the scrapyard. Like, you probably think I'm making it up. Now we can document it and actually show them.
And that's important. I mean, that's how the marketing for this stuff has evolved, and we need to follow that trend because it's a positive thing. You know, we're able to show people what the scrap industry really is and kind of shed some of those stereotypes.
There's a golden opportunity for our industry, for the people that are brave enough, courageous enough to just get out there and tell their story, talk about what their business, and put themselves in front of a camera, right? Or behind a keyboard, right? If you want to write, if you want to talk. If you want to podcast. But there is a true golden opportunity out there in our industry because, you know, like every year more people are coming, right?
Yeah.
Fucking scrap isn't going to the landfill.
No.
I mean, a certain amount of we do a lot of landfill bailing, right? But generally speaking, your commercial business, there's a lot of material that it's not going to landfill, it's going to somebody. If you want more scrap, you're gonna have to take it from somebody.
Right.
If you're getting less scrap today, it's probably because somebody's taking it from you, right? So if you want to compete, if you truly want to compete and you truly want to grow, you're going to have to take it from somebody somehow. Right. And the way that is building a brand around your company, building a brand around 100% your business,
for sure.
Building a brand around yourself and saying like, I'm here, this is what I do, this is the service I offer, and I'm going to stand behind it. People got to know that you can do it.
100%. I also think that's true too. A lot of these like industrial accounts, as an example, it's not scrap isn't money for the pizza fund anymore. You know, it's part of their bottom line now. So they're paying attention, which obviously, you know, makes our margins tighter and stuff like that too. But that's where I tell people about service. I mean, we do a lot of posts about our service because our goal is to be second to none. You know, that's our aim. And so I think that has helped us definitely on the industrial side for sure. So
definitely. What do you got coming up this year that you're excited about, man? Any surprises?
You know, I've got usually at the beginning of the year, I kind of write up, like, these are the things I want to try and get done, right? This, like, whether it's on the storage side or whether it's on the scrap side or whatever. And I kind of just outline it and say, these are like my big goals for the year. Some years the shit gets done. Some years, you know, we miss, but I at least want to have something I'm kind of just shooting for.
Sure.
On this year for us, like, what I'm probably the most excited about is our tire recycling company. You know, we fired it up a couple of years ago, and it's just been a great addition to our business. So, like, right now, we're just finishing up the conveyor system on the grading side, and then obviously we installed the full crumb line and tire wire, steel removal line out of it, and that's probably the biggest thing that we got in the cooker. We've got a couple yards that we're kind of hatching on. But right now, like, closest to the finish line in 2024 is the tire side.
Yeah, and that's awesome. That's something that the whole industry is excited about. Tires are such a problem. Why is that? Why is it so hard to recycle tires?
Well, I think they're a problem because they're hard to recycle. Like, a tire's made to not be destroyed. Right? I mean, it's made to. I mean, it's steel, fiber, you know, layered in between rubber. I mean, it's made to take abuse and keep going. So it's a hard item to recycle. It's hard. It's an intense process to get the steel out, right? And then trying to find uses for it at the end, which is what, you know, recycling is. Like, how can you reuse it, right? And recycle it into another use case, and whether it's same this for a sports field or, you know, like, fucking civil engineer, like aggregate, or fuel for a cement plant. I mean, there's a lot of, every year there's more and more uses for it. People realize that it's a material you can get your hands on at a pretty reasonable price if you can figure out something to do with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Where can we go to check out more information about your companies?
For us, I mean, I'm on LinkedIn, man. I pound LinkedIn hard. I do some Instagram. We know our website, umrecycling.com. We do TikTok we go at it. But I mean, if you can't find me on LinkedIn, that
you're not looking very hard.
Because to me, that's where the scrap industry or recycled materials, whatever they want to call us this here in a couple of days.
Yep.
Like, that's where you can basically curate the most business.
Sure.
Because that's where the decision makers are.
Yep.
They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, but when they fucking open up LinkedIn, they're there to do business.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So where better to be if you're trying to do business than in front of the people? And when I open up Instagram, are you there to do business, or are you there like watch some funny?
It's a time sink, and I fuck around. Pretty soon, it's been 2 hours.
You go to Facebook. You go to Facebook, or you look. What are you looking at?
Yeah.
Your family, your friends. Like, what are they up to? Like, you have in the younger generation, probably doesn't even do fucking Facebook anymore.
Right.
So when you want to do business, you want to see what other people in the industry are doing. Where do you go?
LinkedIn.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I pound it so hard. People are like, why do you post? I'm like, because that's where the people that I want to do business with are.
Yeah.
Free tool that you could use to.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely, man. It's time.
And like you said, you're not going on LinkedIn to see BS, as I'll call it.
Yeah, exactly.
In Brooks's case, sitting on the toilet for 3 or 4 hours, just scrolling
And
through
every
Instagram.
once in a while, like, I'll post some shit on there that maybe I shouldn't, but I just work because I
That's
get a
the
kick
best
out
part
of it.
Yeah. Like, everybody's like, you can't put that on there. Tia was real nervous about us doing shots on LinkedIn one day at the scrapyard, but we went pounded it out. We got some good.
No, I think it's good. I think it's good for guys like us get involved in LinkedIn, because it kind of feels sterile at times, LinkedIn, you know, and to splash it with some shit that they don't normally see, that's going to get some attention.
Yeah, that's on.
Yeah.
That's true in life, I would say, but our big, like, we're more industrial than we are public or peddler traffic, and I think a lot of we're not just the scrap guy now, you know, because we've been able to post on there. It's like, oh, these people do have souls, you know. They're not just like I said, junkyard dog or anything like that. Or
that's one thing I appreciate about Sacco, right? You know, and the way he goes about it is he's trying to educate the masses that that our industry like provides a really valuable service and resource to the manufacturing industry. Him and I go about it very differently, right? Yeah. Well, we still feel the same way. We're proud of our industry. Like, we're proud of what we do for a living. I am. Like, anybody asks me what I do, I could say, oh, I'm in the storage business, or I'm in this. I would say I'm in the scrap business. Oh, yeah, like 100%. That's where my real heart is. I probably make more money doing other shit, right, than the scrap business. But my heart is like this. Like, this is my jam. You know, these are my people. Like, this is what I was just gonna say that.
Some of the best people you'll ever meet are in this industry. Like, it is so awesome.
I've never been to a storage conference, right? Right. I have storage facilities, but I've never been to one because I don't give that much of a fuck. Right. I come to this one. Like, this is fun, man. Yeah, absolutely. To drink beer and talk about whatever we want to talk about, and we get to do it our own way. And it's entrepreneur after entrepreneur after entrepreneur, whether it's equipment, yard guys, owners, I mean, people trying to figure out the next thing. I mean, it's just filled with energy of people trying to build shit. Yeah, for sure. I love that.
100%. No, it's like I tell people that all the time. It's the best. I can't imagine doing anything else than what I do, and it's basically based on relationships. Yeah. Like, you know, I'm not the guy. I've done a little bit of it before, not maybe as much as Noah, but torch and steel and stuff like that. Like, I've done some of that stuff, but you know, it's even having conversations with our employees and those guys. Like, some of those people are the best relationships you'll ever have in your life. You know, because they're real people. Like, that's the way I guess I'm trying to say it, is like, it's not an act, or you're not putting on a face all the time.
My wife always, like, my wife's a school teacher, and she teaches health, but she was a third grade teacher for a long time, and she's always like, because I'll be like, yeah, I got to go to this work deal. And she's like I work with all my friends, right? Like, all the guys that I want to go drink a beer with after work. Like, yeah, we are drinking beer, but we're talking about, you know, like, how's the day? Like, what's coming up? Like, it's like but it's all because I'm working with all my buddies. Like, my guy that does all our insurance and all our safety, and the president of United Metals, like, him and I played college football together, right? Like, we both played middle linebacker, both came in as freshmen. We've been best friends since we've been 18.
That's awesome.
Like, and now he's kind of like my right-hand guy when it comes to anything people and insurance, which you got to have that guy, right? But we love each other. Like, we're friends. It's been a great deal, right? And I recruited him in after college. Nick Snyder, we went to high school together. Like, it's all my buddies. Like, if I got a friend that I'm like, I have some friends that I wouldn't hire, don't get me wrong, but
as do I. And some I have. They might be sitting down here right now. So,
but the ones that I'd like, oh man, we could really build some shit. My CFO and I are best friends. We sit next to each other this close, right? Like, in our office, like, my desk is here, his desk is there, and man, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, no, 100%. I can speak to that, to my journey, and I think you guys have been around us enough now. Like, your team is probably the most important part of the business. You know, you got to have the equipment and all that stuff, but having the team, especially in like a managerial role, has been a night and day difference for us. You know, 5 years ago, we never would have brought 10 people to a show like this. Yeah. Like, it just wouldn't have been possible.
It's a trust thing, right? Like, you got to, good people are people that you could trust. And that's so hard to find. Like, mining the labor force, you're not going to find that. Right. It's people that you know and trust that always turn out to be the best employees, for sure.
Right. Well, if you want to grow your business, get good people.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can only do so much in a day. Right? And so, like, when I graduated in 04, I told we had our yard in Caldwell, and we had like a little feeder yard out in Mountain Home, 2 employees. And I told my dad, I was like, hey, man, like, I want to grow. Like, I want to build the business. Like, we need, and he goes, and I said, I've found this other yard. It was a place called Gooding, Idaho. And I said, I want to buy that yard. And he's like, well, who's going to run it? I said, I don't know. I'm going to find somebody. Like, he goes, are you going to go on down and run it? I'm like, no, I'm going to run this one. He's like, well, you can't run both. And I was like, I'm going to find someone to run it.
Right.
And we did. Like, the next thing you know, like I said, I want to buy that yard and build this yard. And he's like, who's going to run it? That was always the first question. Wasn't like, what equipment do you need?
Right.
What's it going to cost?
Who are the people?
And like, those are all ancillary questions of who's going to run the yard.
Right. Yeah.
Then you back into everything else.
Yep.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's a very similar story to yours. You know, Noah lives in a town of about 700 people, and he might be 700. Are you a resident yet?
I'm outside of town.
So you need to get into town so you can run for mayor. It's a part-time job on Tuesday night.
Yeah, you only need 300 votes.
But no, we
Not about mayor.
we struggled forever to find, and it was whether it was labor or managerial help down there. And Noah came on as a torture. And I hope you don't mind me telling the story because you got fired from your other job for being 19 or whatever it was at the time.
18, I would stay out late. Go up to work.
So he came on as a torture, and within 2 years, you know, he had shown enough growth as a person and a leader that he ended up running the yard, and he's still doing it today. So we've definitely been through some trials and tribulations in that scrapyard for sure, but no, it's you're 100% on with, you know, getting the right people around it and making this stuff possible. So
I mean, if you didn't have Tia here doing this,
Tia's a godsend. I give Tia,
like, you know what I mean? There's just so many people behind the scenes that make it so that give you the ability to do this, right?
Yep.
I'm super grateful, super thankful for the people behind the scenes that are helping us promote our business, you know, like giving me the opportunity to do this while they run the booth. So we can kind of keep the train. You know, I mean, and I feel like there's enough people out there that have got enough swagger if they just figured out how to kind of capture it and put it out there that really would be good for our industry and show people that. I was just talking to a guy earlier. His name is Drew Mims. He's out of Louisiana. Great kid. He got in trouble in high school, and I let him tell the story. Got in trouble in high school with his baseball coach. Decided he wanted to play baseball. Decided he was going to drop out of high school, and he was 16. And his dad said, "That's fine. Get your GED and get your ass to work." Right?
Yep.
And they built a hell of a business together. Right? Yeah. And he didn't graduate high school, but he got his GED, and him and his dad running that business.
Doing okay.
Yeah. And his sister came to work. She went and got her marketing degree. Now she works for him.
Right.
He was a 16-year-old dropout.
Right.
But the moral of the story is, like, there's a lot of kids out there and there's a lot of families out there that if your kid don't want to go to college, he don't need to go to college.
They're almost better off not.
He's willing to go to work.
Right. Yep.
But you know you're going to have to work. You know you have to put your time in.
Right.
And whether you went to college or not, you're still going to have to do it. But I was like, dude, that story's good because there's a lot of dads out there struggling. Like, they would like to see their kid go to college.
100%.
But maybe fucking just put him in. Like, put him to work. And if he's ready to go and it's not for him, then let it go.
Yeah, 100%. I, you know, from a labor standpoint, I think we also see, like, we struggle, especially like where Noah's at, with getting people to want to come work in a scrapyard.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that might be knowledge-based, though, too. They don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like,
That's my first question when I ask anybody. I'm like, so what do you know about what we do here?
Right.
They're always like, not much.
And it's giving them that education to be like, you know, it is a good job. I mean, we're paying higher than anybody around us as far as wages go, you know, and
You get to do cool shit every day.
right. You get to do everything. You get to break some stuff.
You just gotta find the right guy.
Right. And that's the thing, cycling through.
It's a love it or hate it thing.
Right.
It is.
Yep.
It is. It's 100%. Not everybody's going to love how we do it. There's a lot of kids that should go to college.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of kids, that's a better route for them.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're giving there's a generation of kids out there too that would really thrive in an environment
Absolutely.
like ours if somebody gave them the opportunity, or if they knew the opportunity existed, right? So part of what you're doing by putting the podcast out and putting your business out there is like, hey, like here's a career for you to look at, whether it's for you or not. Like, know that it exists and know that, like, we get to do cool shit. We work our butts on it.
Right.
Like, we do, right? We work a lot of hours, and it's in some nasty environments. But man, A, you can make some money when things hit right.
Right.
But B, you can have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
It's probably more important than the money stuff.
I think so too. And to echo on that more, I tell a lot of our labor positions, this is a dying art, guys. Like, you're going to be able to command some bucks here, in the next 10 years if you stick with this, and so, but you got to get up every day. You got to come to work. You can't show up, pissed drunk or any of that shit. Like, you got to be safe, that sort of stuff.
And you find the right one, it gets in their blood, and then they want to do it.
Right. It's hard to keep them away.
If you could teach somebody in a recycling center the difference between number 1 copper, number 2 copper, red brass, yellow brass, AC rads, copper brass radiators, clean, dirty, like, teach them how to read and analyze their gun.
Yep.
That guy, and be good at on the buy side, that guy can work anywhere in the country.
Yeah. Doing anything.
You can work anywhere in the country for a recycling facility because there's someone out there looking for that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Learn that skill set. It's just as good as being a plumber. It's just as good as being an electrician.
Right.
It's a skill set that not everybody has. Right. And if you can figure it out, you can go anywhere. You can move your family anywhere and have a job.
Well, even
tomorrow.
Especially on the buying side, the personality of having that interaction on, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Because everybody, you're ripping me off, or I want more for this. Like, to have the wherewithal to kind of withstand that, I think is also very, very good too. So
for sure.
So,
Brett, thanks a bunch for coming in.
Thanks for the opportunity, man.
Absolutely.
Thanks for the Miller Lite.
Yes. Shout out to our HR's husband who's here with us, who went and got us beers.
Yeah.
Thank
you, Seth.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Stephanie, we're drinking on the clock. You all right with that? All right.
Check out Brett's podcast, The Scrap Life.
Check out this podcast.
Check out this podcast.
Yeah, make sure you watch this one.
Make sure you're watching this.
Yeah.
Let's just turn away from right to Brett.
Are you guys doing Scrap Life over there?
Yeah, we got a couple. We're doing some podcasts over there. Man, we're doing the same thing you guys do. You guys are just doing it cooler than us.
Yeah. This is something Brooks put together over the weekend.
Work in progress. We're going to get better and better.
I like it. I like your guys' style, man. You guys are doing it right.
Well, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
yep,
Absolutely. Hey, guys, welcome back. And joining us now is Colin Douthit. Did I do that right, Colin?
100% right.
All right. Awesome. With Premier Scrap Processing. So I messed it up. I practiced so much and then I messed it up. Premier Scrap Services, recent rebrand.
Okay. It's all off the presses, so we'll grace this one time.
All right. Well, applause for that. Yeah, right? We went through a rebrand. How come I say applause for that and neither one of you ever clapped?
You're a splat.
Yeah, and you're always looking.
Let's test it. Everybody go ahead and clap here real quick. This guy's watching us clap. There. See, I think everybody probably heard that. So tell us a little bit about what Premier Scrap Services does.
Yeah, well, the rebrand was we went from processing to services because we're a service provider to the scrap recycling post-consumer industries, and we felt like that was just a more accurate name for us. But we are a service provider, so we do torching services and contract labor services to the industry.
Okay.
So, whether it's, you need big stuff cut up, you need people to help at your melt facilities, help with your furnaces, shredder operations, operators, any of those sort of things.
Are you guys just in the scrap industry, or do you venture outside of that at all?
Right now, we're just in the scrap and recycling industries.
Okay.
Possibly dabbling, talking to some people about some bigger, labor jobs.
Okay.
Outside that, but right now,
nothing you want to disclose. Breaking news here today.
No, I can't. Okay. I can't disclose it yet. But
all right. Sorry, Brooks. So,
where are you guys out of?
Company is headquartered out of Indianapolis, but we do work coast to coast. So geography is not really an obstacle that we have to deal with.
So can you explain a little bit how the process works if I want to hire a torch guy or a labor services guy out of?
Absolutely. So, if you want to have a torch guy,
or gal. It's 2024.
Yeah, it's 2024.
Yep.
But, like 0.5% of our labor force is a woman.
0.5%.
Maybe one. So, let's say you've got some, material flow stuff you can't put through the shredder, stuff your shears can't take care of, you don't have a shear, whatever that is. You holler at us and say, hey, listen, here's what we've got. Here's the size we want it cut down to. And we will, provide the pricing based upon that. Depending on how long the project is, we may have to, look at a per diem or some sort of housing allowance. If we have to house that 2 weeks, or if you've got constant flow that you need taken care of, we'll take care of relocating one of our guys there long term.
Are you guys? Do you guys kind of recruit people from certain areas where you're getting a lot of contracts, or do you typically send people out from your location?
That's a good one. So we will send people out depending on the job, right? If you say, hey, we've got something to see, it's 2 months, we'll send one of our guys out, kind of from more of the Indiana area. But, we're constantly hiring new guys. So we're bringing them in from other parts of the country. Sometimes they want to come, they want to move to new locations. So we plant them there.
Sure.
So if I wanted to like torch Noah's truck,
Yeah.
can you guys do that small of a job, or does it have to have some volume to it?
I mean, yeah, we could. I don't think you'd pay that as long as you take the fuel out of it. Anything.
You don't know. I might be willing to come up on that price. It's going through a hailstorm right now, so
Yeah.
well,
It's a Toyota.
that's why.
To be cut up and disposed of.
You need to.
4-cylinder.
Does it hum real good when you get it going?
It's not a Prius.
Okay. I don't know how to recover from that. So, how long you guys been around?
Yeah, the company's been around since 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So my partner Adam and I,
Yep.
we've got some other business experience together.
Lovely gentleman, by the way.
Yeah, I guess depends on your definition of lovely. If you have a thing for flamboyant, loud shirts,
Built for speed.
built for speed,
Yeah.
personality is similar to yourself.
There it was. The dig finally. That's why I think me and Adam probably connected with each other.
Well, you guys saw each other like across the room, and it was this instant connection that couldn't be replicated.
Brooks does a lot of
I
not
can
a
hear
story.
Endless Love playing in the background.
Yeah, that for sure. But Brooks often talks about how he's like, Jeff, you kind of look like a celebrity from far away. And then people get up next to you and realize you're just absolute dog shit.
And
And
fucking disappointed.
yeah, he's like, you're like
that guy's got to be a pro wrestler or something.
right. Yeah, and then it's just
Far before good types of
Right,
situations.
exactly.
so. I didn't feel that about Adam. I felt he was good from any direction. So
That's something.
how do you want to move on from that one, Brooks?
You guys have a website? What's your web presence?
Yeah. So it's www.premierscrap.com. So it's part of the rebrand. And so we're out there. Tells a little bit about us.
Cool.
If you need to contact us, have any questions, want to have us come look at a project, put a bid together, anything like that, we can get you taken care of.
Awesome.
Can we send people to speed race with Noah? I got your back, homie. I think you can beat any torture in the United States.
Torturers?
Yeah,
Yeah, I will.
handled. Challenge?
Yes.
Not a chance, he says.
We'll drop you like a bat.
I don't know.
200 tons a week.
200 tons a week, kid.
That's a good.
But he's also
ain't
going
touching
through
that.
7 times the amount of oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's got that shit turned up.
yeah. It's just all
Yeah.
lined together.
Yeah. No, well, we'll give it a shot and see. But you might have the opportunity to put the money where the mouth is. Yeah.
Here we go.
In the next week or so, I think.
Yeah, torch
We did.
shop.
Oh yeah.
Torching nationals.
Yeah. We gotta get a camera set up and just record this dude fucking blazing past Noah.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him, buddy.
So we've got.
Keep your head up.
Nicholas, I got shit.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Can you guys get us in touch with Nicholas
He'll be there next week.
at our place?
At your place.
He's coming up.
God damn.
Yeah,
We're
dude.
gonna
You
find
better not
out.
disappoint now.
Yeah.
When's the last? You fired one up last week, did you?
Yeah, for like 5 minutes and put it back in.
Yeah, this guy real tired. Real
It actually was. It's a lot more work than like a keyboard.
right. He doesn't turn one of those on either. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like my grandmother with computers.
Yeah.
Basically.
He asked us to fax him a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you fax me that?
Are you
So-
on the Facegram?
Yeah. The snap face. That was what we were using for a long time. So, all right. Well, yeah, we encourage everybody to go out and check out your guys' services. Are you having a fun show so far?
Oh yeah, it's a great show. I mean, there's
Yeah.
so much to see, so many people here to talk to, and I don't know how they got all this big equipment inside here, but it's pretty impressive.
With a lot of dollars. That's how that worked out. Yeah. Doing any gambling? Any sightseeing while you're here?
Hadn't ever gambled before last night.
Is that a true story, or are you bullshitting me?
True
Okay.
story.
And?
I probably am not going to do it again.
Yeah.
My money
To stay with you?
stay with me. I know it's a weird concept.
Yeah, that is you're talking to a guy who likes to just give it away to everybody. That's what he likes to do.
Give it a look.
So Mackenzie, who's with us here, she actually put $10 in one spin. Brought what, $230?
$230,
Yeah.
and I told her that's my wife. I told her not another fucking dollar. To
Yeah,
this. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. So, well, I hope you do some more gambling. Maybe we'll do some drinking that'll turn us around. Yeah, we'll figure it out. So thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks a bunch.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Guys, that is Premier
Let's everybody
Scrap
clap.
Services. You can find information in the link below. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you guys for having me.
Can you all right, now pronounce his last name quick.
Douthit.
Yeah, that was good. That was awesome. That was awesome. So, hey guys, welcome back to the Room Podcast. We got some other guests joining us here. Dash Natalia on the end and Chad Kelter with 5R Enterprises.
Howdy.
Look at, I did it right. Woo! Yeah, safe.
Thanks.
Safe.
Thanks for joining us, guys. I think the last time that we saw you was at St. Louis Consumers Night, and
Didn't really see him, did we, Brooks?
we had a pretty good time,
Yeah.
it seemed like.
Tear in the eye.
Yeah.
I remember I was there.
Yeah.
You can't drink all day if you don't start early in the morning.
We were present.
Oh, yeah, we went to breakfast.
We were physically there, but no, then at night,
We were ghost.
yeah,
Yeah, we were seeing sounds.
we were
at that point.
We certainly were.
Yeah.
I forgot your drink order, and you were pretty frustrated with me.
I was.
That tends to happen.
I probably didn't need the fucking drink at that point.
You guys have met
not
with
get
Brooks
crazy.
a couple
Everybody
times now. We are thinking about starting a segment, What Grinds Brooks's Gears, and just letting him have a bitch fest for about 30 minutes of,
It seems like there's a lot of fucking content there.
yeah, there is. There's some, be able to,
Hard to do.
Yeah.
some. So, yeah, guys, obviously you've been to the show before, been to Vegas at this show.
Yeah, we
Okay.
come in 20 years now.
20 years to this one.
Yeah, I did skip one that was in California once because I don't swing that way. But,
Okay. Okay.
so, yeah.
So this is our first time with the podcast here, and some of us last night had to go home early. Was that you or no? It was Brooks.
Noah left without saying goodbye to anybody and just kind of
It's a little Irish
ninja.
Yeah. So now he's getting a leash put on him tonight.
Then you were getting a little tuckered out, so I had to put you to
I
bed.
believe you left before I did.
Thank
That's
God, fucking
convenient.
trucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just told me you were doing tornadoes in your living room
I was.
at the hotel room.
Everybody left me. What was I to do? I still had beer.
I was still booze cruising. I was just
you
walking
weren't.
around the room.
No, you
So
weren't.
my dog does tornadoes. He scoots his butt right in.
Yeah.
On the rug in the living room.
That fucking butt wheelies. Yeah.
You're just stationary, just moving like this.
I was probably doing that.
How you grind your gears.
So, so we let these boys come out a little bit early, so I think they need a nap.
It's been all right. We've taken the requisite time off. We haven't just been going full speed the whole way, but
Not yet.
well, I think that kind of will start tonight.
Yeah, it's about to happen. It's about to happen.
It's a marathon. It's
Yeah.
So,
a sprint.
but fun group of people, obviously, here, and it's a party for sure. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit more about 5R Enterprises, what you guys do, and how you kind of fit into this?
Okay. Well, 5R started about 8 years ago based on the fact that I work for a larger company and they started going more corporate. And
You also don't swing that way.
no.
Okay. No.
Door's a one-way swinger. What is a left hand open? No. No, we were friends with all of our customer base and we go out to dinner with them and stuff like that. And we truly believe in treating everybody correctly and making sure that guys get what we say we're going to give them. And whether it's service or product or support emotionally, because this business will make you fucking cry.
Yeah.
That we're there to listen to everything. So no, it was one of those things where the industry on the whole and the integration of the waterway systems that are for the infrastructure of the United States in a whole needed a lot of upgrades, and there wasn't anybody out there that could handle putting rental units out there with truckable tugs and cranes and barges and still doing material handling and stuff like that. So kind of took a niche line to run with it, and the crossover between the scrap industry and barge unloading and stuff like that put us right back here where we started. So
Okay. Absolutely. So is you're primarily customer-based scrap related, or are you outside of that industry as well?
no, we're why don't you give me what the fuck are you asking me?
Do you service any other industry besides
Oh,
scrap?
yeah, I mean, shit, we'll go anywhere.
Fucking put that in English for you real quick.
I'm no different than any other guy that's dealing in scrap. I'm a whore, man. I go anywhere and sell anything.
baby.
Yeah, if your mama leaves her purse on the table, I'm selling that motherfucker. No, that's just one of those things where, it's, we get into dust suppression because we deal with demolition guys. We go all over the country. Our boats hit California, the Gulf, The barges are up in New York. You know, we do re-rents with other dealers. You know, we try to make sure that our equipment gets out and it touches all industries, all facets.
Sure.
Yeah, pretty much if you do anything on the river, whatever it might be, we have the equipment to
handle it. No.
Yeah.
Speaking of equipment, remember when Dash saved us from the rain?
Yeah,
We were in a fucking rainstorm, man.
Was that?
it was in
Louisville, Scrap Expo.
Yeah.
It's Scrap Expo.
Yep. We're out there just looking like sad puppies. Dash
Just
like,
waiting for the rain. Just
"Can I get in the truck here real quick?"
It's like fucking Superman.
It was.
Yeah.
And it was, we got into a strange truck with a man we didn't know.
We did.
Everything could have went down
It
right
didn't
there.
take much convincing either.
No, at that point we were pretty, we were desperate,
Yep.
and I didn't give a fuck what was going to happen to me as long as I got out of that place.
Your hotel is across the parking lot too. You were in the truck about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, all right, not to make us sound like complete pussies. It was like a monsoon of rain happening.
It was.
Like, it wasn't like
No, it was pouring. It was.
yeah. So,
I'm sure that by the look of him anyway, he was probably not the better looking one in the truck though, right?
look at me. I don't remember who else was in there.
Oh, it was just Nick and me, and then these two.
Oh, geez.
Gosh.
Yeah.
He might. I think I'm probably the best looking one.
But there's
know, right?
fucking
Serious.
yeah. It's just that's all right. Dash, what's your role at 5R?
So I'm in sales at 5R, and my territory kind of spans pretty wide. I go as far, pretty much cover Iowa, Northeast, Missouri, all the way down to Kentucky. So, and we're in central Illinois. So I put a lot of miles on the truck.
Yeah, the one that saved us.
So you guys obviously part of the scrap industry, but what are the other industries that you are heavily involved in?
Yeah, you know, like I said, we're on with the river industry, the barges, bulk material handling. We just took on the PLM crane line. So PLM's a manufactured crane, a duty cycle crane out of the Netherlands. So we have a couple of competitors here in the U.S., but again, it's not a corporate-based system that we're on. We're more of a relationship-based. And guys are just, frankly, they were looking for something else out there. So we're now the dealer throughout North America for PLM cranes. So with that, we're going to get into like dredging in the Gulf, dredging on the rivers. We've got drop ball application in the steel mills. We've got a bunch of them over in Indiana. We're breaking up slag. So again, you know, everything kind of comes full circle back around to that stuff. Clamshell work, drag line work, driving pile, doing all that kind of shit. So yeah, I mean, it's we really get out and work. I mean, the first thing that we make our guys do, and when they hire on, is we go out and we set up floats, and so they know how to set up our barges and they know how to go out and help customers do that. And all of our guys are more than willing to throw on their Carhartts and go out and go to work for a day and help customers out. So we're not clean-handed people.
And you've been obviously some success with it. You've been doing it for 20 years. So you hit on something that's key to us too. I think with our businesses, the relationship building. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, I can't tell you how many times people have told us it's not necessarily the number that I need, you know, in our example for the scrap. It's more about, you know, are you going to be there when shit needs to get out of here? Are you going to be there when we need you to come on a Saturday or Sunday? How we delivered to a steel mill on Christmas Day before, you know? And so I think that's it's unique in this industry. Sure. And I shouldn't say unique. This industry is unique because of that, having those close relationships. And it's kind of a niche deal. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as big as Con Expo, like we were talking about earlier, which they were at Con Expo.
Yeah, how was that?
We were there.
We were at World of Concrete.
That's what I said.
You said Con Expo. I get confused with
you're coming.
Thanks, guys, and thanks for none of you covering for me there. That was fantastic.
Anytime we get a chance to stuff you under the fucking bus,
I'm well aware.
Something's grinding Grix's gears.
Yeah, it's just me breathing. Yeah.
But yeah, to your point, and also, of course, Chad's, I mean, at 5R, we tend to focus so much on what the customer needs. We don't want them to call us, and even if we don't have the equipment, we at least want to provide an avenue to get it.
Sure.
Or a recommendation on what the best process is towards it. So, I mean, so many people call us to say, I'm doing this. What are your ideas?
Sure.
I think so. We just try to work with them as best as possible, stick away from that bottom dollar corporate perspective as opposed to just doing what everybody needs.
So would you guys be classified as an equipment dealer, essentially? Is that what you call yourself, or what? it's kind of a weird niche because you're not really just only dealing in you know what I mean? Like you're dealing in stuff outside of just cranes and barges and things like that. So
Yeah, I mean, we classify as an equipment dealer, but we're probably the only equipment dealer that you get that sales guys are going to go out and actually work.
with the stuff.
Work with the people, work with their customers, get dirty, turn in a hard day's work. And I don't ask my guys to do anything that I won't do. So,
Sure.
I mean, that's just one of those things that I was raised on, that my dad was always keen on this. I'll show you how to do it, and then you need to figure it out. But he was always out there to show us how first. It never was go figure it out on your own, So
Kind of like me and Noah and Brooks. That's why you guys should call me Dan.
hey, Danny.
Somebody, you're going to get so pissed at me. Somebody thought Brooks was my dad.
The fuck they do.
He is fucking irate about it. He's like, you were with your dad earlier. Why you said, sure were.
Well, how many guys walking around Vegas have been like, hey, man, there's Penn and Teller?
Yeah.
Well, you don't resemble Teller, I can tell you that.
Brown, balding.
But why does everybody tell me that I look like? I had 2 guys tell me that yesterday.
Well, maybe because you fucking
because you do. I don't even know who that is.
Of course you don't.
I'm not throwing darts at a blank wall, man. There's a dartboard right there, and there's a fucking bullseye.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing it more and more. So as I get old, I'm just going to become Penn.
Now, most people know how to use the internet. No one refuses to buy it at his house, so he uses carrier pigeon and stuff like that. But where could we go out to find more about 5R at?
You go to www.5rents.com.
Yep.
So 5 Rents, everybody calls us 5 Rents instead of 5R because it's just spelled right there, but it's actually an acronym, so it's short for 5R Enterprises.
Okay.
Just kind of worked out well that way. So we do a lot of rentals, and like I said, we rent all over the country, so it works. But it's the number 5 and the word rents, and that'll bring you right to us.
Yeah, and so obviously I want to say thanks for joining us today. I encourage all of you who are watching this, if you get a chance to hang out with these two, do it.
They're a riot.
Yeah, if you've got a significant other, you might want to leave them somewhere else. But
Just don't bring your mothers.
don't bring your mom. I encourage mom.
They won't like me.
Go ahead and bring your mom. So, all right, guys, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You guys can check out the 5R website in the link below. Thanks.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Ruin Podcast. We got a lot better looking than most of our guests in here with Nanci, Schuld, and Michelle Rees from FE Trading Group. So, not so hard to watch. Most people only listen to us, Brooks, instead of watching
the scrap guys.
They might change that around now. So, ladies, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So, why don't you tell, for those who don't know, maybe just an elevator pitch of what FE Trading Group is, Nanci?
We're one of the largest trading and brokerage houses in the United States. We do business in Canada, Mexico, the U.S. mostly. Of course, we do a little bit of other export, but that's the majority of our business. We have a large private fleet of rail cars, which is one of our claims to fame because I don't know how much you guys ship by rail car. I'll ask you questions about that. But, as we know, the railroads have not been keeping up their fleets. They've been getting rid of cars, and we have high cube cars, right? So you can get weight with heavy melt, Bush, P&S, whatever it is you have. You're going to get a minimum of 85 ton typically in these cars because they're 4,000 to 4,400 cubes.
Michelle just sent me a very beautiful one.
Is it one of the brand new ones?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't it?
We can't get rid of it. We keep it.
Yeah, that's a pretty one.
That's a very.
And there's another on the way. So
yeah. So no, we've doing a little bit by rail. We're kind of in a weird location there, and our rail line is Michelle? What's the word to say? Difficult sometimes to deal with.
At times, yes.
Yeah. So we've had some arguments with them, but outside of that, no, we like to ship by rail when we can. I think we take advantage of that, and it's cool for us to have that.
Where are you guys out of?
Well, we're all over the place. I'm out of the Chicago area. Michelle's in Indiana. We have Ian Templeton. He's one of our traders. He's out of Cincy area. And then we have Boyd Thomas, another trader. He's out of Northern Ohio. And then, we have a CFO. He's in New York. We have, admin, and they're literally all over the United States.
Awesome.
So
Nanci, give us a little bit of background on you. How did you get into this business, or how did you come to FE Trading?
Okay. So when I graduated college, I went to school in Arizona. and I went to work at the Board of Trade. I did arbitrage with soybean futures and soybean options.
We're from Iowa. We know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I've always been in the commodities business.
Yep.
And I just got to a point, I think I worked there for maybe 5 years. I was on the floor of the Chicago Board of Trade. And I lived in the city of Chicago, and I worked out at a Gold's Gym. And there was a gentleman who we became friends, right? We would do the Stairmaster next to each other, and, we just had a good relationship. And when we were just talking on the Stairmaster, and he said, I just told him, I said, I'm putting my resume together, I'm going to leave the Board of Trade. And he said, you got to come talk to my partners and me. They had a non-ferrous business. It was Midwest Industrial Metals.
Okay.
I'm sure you guys know that. But a long time ago.
Yep.
It was Richard Lissner. He was the owner. And I was like, my mother would kill me if I went in the scrap metal business, right? When you know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You think it's dirty and, it's Sanford and Sons. Long story short, I ended up going to work with them, and Metal Management bought Midwest, and then Sims bought Metal Management. And then I left Sims, and started FE, which it was FE Exchange with the Gertlers, Scrap Metal Services. And then we separated from them, and we became FE Trading Group.
Awesome. Yeah, I think your story is very similar to a lot of people in the scrap industry. I tell one of my own where I came around the corner and was like, what the hell is this place? Like, I shouldn't be here right now. And we were talking earlier with some other guests. I can't imagine doing anything else than what I do now. Like, the industry's so great, and events like these are awesome because it gets us all together. And Brooks drinks too much and tries to fight people.
I drink too much, but no, you're right. Like I think the newer, younger group is just through social media, giving the scrap industry some better exposure. People can kind of see it for what it is and shake some of those stereotypes. I think
Ain't that right, Noah?
That's right, yeah.
That's right. What do you think about that? What do you think people should do?
About what?
Okay.
Thanks, Noah.
Okay, so I have a question. So do you guys see that is the case now? That the younger generations are a little bit more open to this?
It seems like it's a little bit harder to get them in without having previous exposure to the industry. But it's one of those things that you love it or you hate it, right? It gets in your blood. I've been working in the industry for 10, 12 years off and on, and it's just, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's awesome for me.
It's a
and if we can show people the positive side of this thing just through social media and different forms of engagement, I feel like we're going to be able to bring more people in.
It's a very antiquated business, too. It's you can trace it back to the Romans, melting steel and stuff like that. And like I said, I think people don't have the correct knowledge base about our industry. They think it's all plain in the dirt, and not, you guys are just trading stuff. You know what I mean? Like you're making that connection happen. Mm-hmm. I think even that niche people don't realize is out there. You know what I mean? And I think you're starting to see things like this, the podcast and the social media marketing. So hopefully that brings in a different generation. From my personal experience, I can tell you, bring our management staff that we've brought in over the last 5 years has decreased our median age by probably 25 years. Yeah. And so it's bring some fresh blood and new ideas, and everything's not doom and gloom all the time and stuff like that. With that being said, the old timers that give you the stories in this business are unreal. Like it's most people I tell, they're like, there's no way that story's correct. It's made up. You're fabricating it, that sort of thing. We have a gentleman in our scrapyard who tells a story about the Rockford Flash. Short version of this is they were driving back from some job, and they stopped, and the guy sold somebody else's tractor to somebody who just happened to be driving by and essentially stole money from the dude. It's just that story. But you never hear that. Like, that doesn't happen in the real world and stuff like that. So I think those kind of stories, make this industry what it is. So
I would agree. I think that's one of the most appealing parts of this industry.
Right, yeah.
The people and, the stuff that happens, you couldn't make it up.
Right.
Right. So how did you get involved in scrap, Michelle?
So I was working at Enterprise Rent-A-Car out of college.
Yeah.
And I was having a horrible day there. And there was a gentleman that came in, and I had to give him a ride back to get his car at the dealership. And we just kind of were talking. And I was like, yeah, I'm just so over this Enterprise thing. And he's like, hey, do you have any interest in scrap metal? It's like, again, I have no idea about scrap metal. And I was like, of course I do, you know? So
It's my favorite.
yeah, I love it so much. But he ended up taking me to a couple of scrap yards. It took quite some time to get hired in, but yeah, it's pretty much how it happened.
So were you hired on, have you only done trading? Were you only a broker ever, or?
So initially, I think that they were trying to hire me in as more of like an admin type role.
Sure.
To support, like talk with some of the mills and organize scheduling, things like that. I'd been doing that for a couple of months, and I was more like, I want to do what you're doing, and they kind of gave me a shot. So
Awesome.
yeah.
I will tell you this, especially when I was inebriated at bars, I've tried to hire every bartender under the sun to come work at Push or A-Line.
Well,
Because they got people skills. They're like,
right, exactly.
that's the
People who
thing.
work in hospitality
And,
have the right skill set for it, for sure.
Well, enterprise was a grind. I mean, you did every part of the business from, you know, cleaning the car in negative 30-degree weather, you know, to trying to sell insurance to people who already have insurance. So, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you learn every side of the business, and, you know, if the hours are crazy, it's tough work, and, you know,
They got a
it's
great
a good
corporate
base.
structure, right, Noah?
Yeah.
Enterprise.
Thanks, Noah.
They let you be your own boss.
What do you guys have? What do you guys got coming up this year that you're excited about?
Well, we just bought, we have, as I said, a big fleet of rail cars, but we just bought 100 new rail cars. So getting those in the right
Awesome.
place, which, and you guys are getting some of the new ones, so you know how beautiful they are. I think we're the only industry that would look at a rail car and say, that's beautiful.
It was.
I was nervous about it being in near our town. I was like, "This is getting
It's-
painted for sure." Like
Yeah.
somebody's going.
Yeah,
to
it's like a new Cadillac.
Right.
in the scrap yard.
Yeah.
It really is.
It'll get graffiti.
It's not going to look like that for long, though, is it?
Right.
No, I highly doubt it. A lot of them do get graffiti. I mean, some of our suppliers, they'll call me up and say, hey, you know, there's graffiti on this. Do you want me to clean it up? Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know,
They're very noticeable. I mean, it was my birthday was last week, and I was just driving downtown, and across the way there's a flash of our rail cars, and I'm like, oh my gosh! I'm talking to my dad, and I was like, there's our rail cars right in Valpo, you know. So it's kind of cool to, you know, see it in my hometown. But they're very nice cars.
Awesome.
For sure. So you guys are you trading anything just ferrous only in the name, or do you do any non-ferrous stuff? Or
we do a little bit of non-ferrous.
Okay.
I would say that our bread and butter is mostly ferrous.
absolutely. Okay. If anybody wants to find out about you, where can they go to?
You can go to fetradinggroup.com, or I guess you could find all of us on LinkedIn, I would imagine.
We just,
That's the only social media I use. So
Okay.
We just put out a new website, so yeah,
It's flashy.
it looks really nice.
It's the bee's knees, Michelle.
Yeah, you're gonna like it.
Michelle, I feel like we see you out on the ISRI golf circuit. You got some tournaments coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing with you guys in the AWMI.
Hold on. You're not with us.
Oh, I'm gonna.
You're against us.
Okay.
You're one of the enemy. If that's that right. With you? Are you on that team?
She's on our team.
Oh yeah, you're with us, aren't you?
Yeah.
So you were Jules.
So it's me, Jules, and who else?
I think Mackenzie.
I think it is.
Mackenzie's gonna be there.
Yep.
are you guys going to Shine's thing when it's at Lake Okoboji?
So we were just talking about that. We have something the next day.
Yeah, what is that?
It's the home builders back home.
That's what it is.
So we were trying to figure out how we could logistically stay the night and be back by 10 a.m. in the morning, which it's about a 4-hour haul for us. So I mean, it would be, and then play golf after that, and whatever happens at the golf tournament the night before. Like,
also hard to get away
sober.
with playing golf 2 days during a work week.
It is? You must have
kinda.
a bad boss.
Don't let him fool you.
Thing I would feel guilty, I think.
Yeah, Brooks likes to like sit and think about stuff a lot, and
Yeah, maybe.
one of them is about how guilty he feels about playing golf. So, but no, we'll be at the it's the AWMI, right?
Yes.
American Women in Metals Industry.
Yep.
Did I do that right?
Is that
There's a
Association of Women.
association. I'm sorry. Yeah,
is that
association.
the one in Quad Cities?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys don't know this, but me or Jules might be the keynote speaker.
I look forward
keynote
to that.
speaker at that. Yeah,
That'll be
Jules is going
fun.
to go up and give just a long presentation about being a woman in the metals industry.
right.
Yes. But no. So no, I do want to say that too. We had somebody talk about earlier today that only what did he say? 0.5%
This company.
of his company is women employed. So I think it's cool to see very successful women doing what they do. So congratulations, awesome guys. Yeah.
Thanks for coming, guys. Thanks for joining us.
So it was short minutes. Are you nervous still?
No.
You sure?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right. All right. So thanks for being on, guys, and go check their website out at www.tradinggroup.com.
Yep, you find all that info in the links below, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Boom! Hey, everybody. Thank you for watching the Ruin Podcast this week. Stay up to date with us at www.ruinpod.com. We also have some advertising opportunities available. Just shoot us an email at info@ruinpod.com. And to the greatest industry in the world, sometimes you just got to get out and smell that success, baby.